and no one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
No one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I've always heard noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? What did you see?
She's as nice as can be. Very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. The only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. The door was locked when everyone got here. We just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of, I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? We don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's why we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay. The bar?
Yeah, no one had seen her since Saturday because there's not a whole lot of interaction unless we're doing classes.
Right.
And she was doing the online version of it.
You all studied together, though?
We were in, there's two different people, there's two companies that provide it. Kaplan provides it and Barbary provides it. I signed up with Barbary and I've been doing the lectures that they have in the mornings. She was doing the Kaplan online, so I hardly ever saw her. I would see her go out running, but
What time would she go out running?
I don't even know when.
Was it at night or morning?
I saw her midday a couple weeks ago. That was the last time I saw her, was coming back from the bar prep on the main campus because we got moved over there for a week or two.
But she normally would run. That was the
routine
that she had.
She ran all the time. She had a group that she would go running with. I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was as nice a person as there is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah. She was going to be moving out today. She was supposed to move out today because someone else was going to be moving into her apartment, a new law student.
Do you know if she was where is she from? Is she from Maryland?
Yeah, she's from up in Maryland.
Can I just put this on you so we can hear you? Is that all right?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Here, and you can just hold on there. Thank you.
Yeah, she's from Maryland.
Yeah, she was from up in Maryland. All her family was there, as far as I know. She.
What's going on in your mind right now? What are you thinking?
Why would anyone do this?
She didn't hear anything?
No. I just heard something. Maybe I could have helped.
Okay, don't worry. Do you want to sit down for a second? Get something to drink?
Do you know if a bunch of her friends are getting together or anything?
That's how I found out that she was missing. A bunch of her friends came over yesterday night around midnight, and they hadn't seen her since Saturday, so they were trying to find out where she was.
So they were knocking on neighbors' doors and stuff?
No, they went in, they had a key to her apartment, and they checked around, didn't see anything out of place. It was locked when everyone got there.
That was midnight?
Yeah, around midnight, and then we went over to law school to see if maybe she was over in the library studying or something. And we looked up in the study rooms on the 3rd floor, and there was no one there. And we came back, we looked around, and just trying to find anything to figure out where she was.
She doesn't have any family in Georgia?
I don't know. As far as I know, all of her family is in Maryland.
Have you met her family before?
There was one time that I met them. They came down first year. She had a little dog, a little brown dog, that she would exercise out in front of the law school, and it got hit as she was coming across the road. I heard the car hit it and ran out, and she was there crying, and thankfully there was someone who came along who knew a vet or something, and they helped that, and her family came down I think a couple weeks after that or something. I met them just briefly.
Right.
But
Her boyfriend or
we've been trying to figure out. She has a boyfriend up in Atlanta, but someone called him, and he hadn't heard from her. No one could figure out where she was.
Who was the last person to be with her? You said that somebody had seen her on Saturday?
Yeah, she went over to a couple friends' house, Garen Mueller and Joe Cairns. They live over on Walnut, and they said that she was over there in the morning, and then that was the last time that anyone we've been able to find out from had seen her.
She hadn't mentioned what she was going to do that day or anything?
Joe, he got onto her computer last night to see if she had said anything. She'd sent an email out to some people that afternoon talking about like going out to eat or something. And the last thing that there was an email that she sent out after 10 that night where she sent to, I think it was someone in Atlanta, a friend of hers in Atlanta, and she said that she was afraid in her apartment that she thought someone had tried to break in on Thursday night, and she was afraid to stay in there. But
where did you hear that from Joe?
He pulled it up, and we read it off the screen.
She had said that to a friend in Atlanta?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but...
And you hadn't heard anything on Thursday night?
No.
She never came to you to tell you anything?
No, if she had, I could have done something. I could have lent her a handgun. I've got a little handgun that I have for defense. And
Or she could have slept over or something?
yeah, something. If she was afraid in her apartment, then get her out of there.
Is
that
tried
her-
to break in on Thursday?
That's what she said in the email. She thought that someone had tried to break into her apartment. She said, like, Macon hoodlums tried to break into my apartment on Thursday night.
Is that her car parked there? The Chevy?
No,
Small car?
no. I think that's the detective's car, Detective
her
Patterson.
car's not even there?
No, it was here earlier, and they towed it. It'd been there for days, and then they towed it to, I guess, look through, see if there was...
With the police.
Yeah.
How did you find out that something was wrong with the police here? Was it like when you walked up a little while ago, or?
No, the police were called last night, and they came and they looked around. They didn't see anything. They went in, we looked around the place. No sign of a struggle, no sign that anyone had broken in, just nothing. Just she was gone. All of her stuff was there. Her ID was there. Her wallet was there, but she was just gone.
For you, did you just come home and see the police here?
No, I was here this morning. I couldn't hardly sleep. I was up until early hours, and then I got home and I just collapsed. And then this morning they knocked on my door. They were looking around trying to find anything, and a few of the other friends, Burpee and Garen and Ashley, they were here. They were here last night, and they'd come back this morning. I just went out and talked with them, and
And then they moved us all over to the side and they bussed us all down to the department and kept us there until I got back just a little while ago. And
Fast question.
yeah, they took statements trying to find out if anyone had seen anything, if anyone had heard anything, when the last time anyone saw it was.
Now, they haven't confirmed, at least not with us, that it was Lauren that they found. Are you holding out any hope right now?
I hope, but if they found it on the property somewhere.
Not with hope.
You hadn't heard anything about a body until you were talking to us earlier?
No. No, as far as any of us knew, they were still trying to just find her. I mean, we got an email this morning from some people that live on the other side of Kroger, on the other side of the river, that they had seen her in the past running in that area. We thought maybe someone had snatched her over there, or maybe she got hurt or something.
You know, Stephen McDaniels did plead guilty in front of Judge Howard Sims for the murder of Lauren Giddings. Now, we're going to roll some video that we've shot in the past about this case. McDaniel was accused of killing Mercer Law grad Lauren Giddings back in the summer of 2011. He accepted the plea deal this morning. Well, he'll serve life in prison with the opportunity for parole again in 2041. Now, also a part of this plea deal is he'll have to provide an allocution. Now, if you don't know what that means, is an allocution, it will be a written statement talking about all of the events that happened on the night that Giddings was murdered. Now, the defense came to Macon Judicial Circuit District Attorney David Cook about this plea deal a couple of weeks ago. Cook told me in a news conference that he believes McDaniel will spend the rest of his life behind bars, even though he has the opportunity for parole again in 2041. He also said that his goal from the very beginning was that he wanted to just give justice to Giddings' family. He knows that they've been through so much over the last 3 years, and today they finally had the opportunity to get some sort.
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you. No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you, and I want you back so bad.
There's been an arrest in the disappearance of Suzanne Morphew. Morphew's husband, Barry, just made his first court appearance today. This is him. He's being held without any bail. Barry Morphew now facing charges of first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence in his wife's disappearance. Now remember, we're just a few days shy of the year since the 49-year-old mother was last seen on Mother's Day. This is Suzanne right here. She vanished without a trace while she was out on a bike ride. Despite extensive searches and intense media coverage, Morphew's body has never been found.
It was kind of a hit, and something happened. Something went bad, and this is like a rural area, so they just wanted to plant the body somewhere else. It would be like a place where people from the city would want to put a body, because most likely they wouldn't be found. Guessing like my mother, she would be concerned, and probably a lot of the other neighbors would be concerned.
The body was his mother's, 60-year-old Patricia Haverly, and now he is charged with murder and abuse. Neighbors are shocked.
It's heartbreaking because he comes across concerned.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. You got people like that running around.
An autopsy shows his mother died from head trauma. Haverly is being held without bail and has not yet entered a plea.
A local news station filmed him on that very morning. He seemed to be concerned about his looks.
And I hope they find the guy soon.
Here, we were allowed to meet Robert Fratta, who was sentenced to death for conspiring and instigating the murder of his wife Farah. In fact, his conviction was summarily overturned some 11 years after he was sentenced to death. In a second trial, with key confessions of co-defendants ruled inadmissible, he was still found guilty and sentenced to death again.
Chris Watts, W-A-T-T-S.
Wow. What's going on right now around your house?
Right now it's, you got K-9 units, the sheriff's department, everybody's like, they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point, they're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's...
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here. And like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say, you know, but she never got back to me, but she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well. And that's what really concerned a lot of people, is like, if she's not getting back to her, like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine, like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home and then walked in the house, and nothing was vanished, nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here, the kids weren't here, nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann, S-H-A-N-A-N-N.
What's your kids?
Bella and Celeste.
How do you spell Celeste?
C-E-L-E-S-T-E.
How old are your daughters?
4, Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on. Like cause after I called her and texted her once, it's like maybe she was just busy. Like she had just gotten back, you know, like everybody's probably calling her from her trip. She just got back from Arizona, and I figured she was just busy. But when her friend showed up, that's what it was like. It registered like, all right, this isn't right.
Do you think she just took off? Do you think?
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like if they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions. Your relationship with your kids.
Yeah, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life. And there's like, I mean, last night, like during when they usually eat dinner, it was just like I missed them. Like, I mean, I missed telling them, hey, you got to eat that, or you're not gonna get your dessert, you know, and just like you're not gonna get your snack after. I miss that. Like I miss them, you know, cuddle up on their couches. They have like a Minnie Mouse couch and a Sophia couch that they cuddle up on and watch, you know, Bubble Guppies or something. And it was just like, you know, it was tearing me apart last night, and I needed that. I needed that last night, and for nobody to be here last night and to go into their rooms and know that I wasn't going to turn the rain machines on, and I know that I wasn't going to turn their monitor on, and know I wasn't going to kiss them to bed tonight. It was that's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I want everybody to just come home. Like wherever they're at, come home. That's what I want.
Where was she gone for? She was on. She came back Sunday. You said that to you at night.
Yeah, because her flight got delayed from Arizona because of like other storms around the nation. So she's supposed to get home at like 11. She got home at like 1:48. She got in bed about 2.
What was she going for? Like family trip or what?
It was a Thrive direct sales. It was a local event that was down there between a bunch of leaders in the company.
And that day she was back. I mean,
I left work early that morning, like 5:15, 5:30. So like she barely got into bed pretty much.
this might be a tough question, but did you guys get into an argument before she left?
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like, somebody has to come forward.
Have you spoken to her family, like her parents?
Yeah, they've been in constant contact, like every hour. I mean, everybody back in North Carolina and the East Coast. I mean, from Maine to Florida.
What is her parents saying to you? Like,
they're just like if they need to get on a flight, just let them know. Because I mean, they feel helpless right now because they're on the opposite side of the country. I mean, Colorado is. I mean, you can't just drive around and look. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't really know what you're looking for. That's what the cops pretty much told me. That first day, I was like, I want to get out and drive around. They said, you wouldn't know what to look for.
Last couple questions. What is law enforcement? What have the police or the sheriffs or your neighbors? What's police saying to you?
Right now, this is what they're doing right now is with the canines in the sense. I think this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing they've done so far because yesterday the Frederick Police Department did all the searching of the house and tried to gather whatever information they could. And with the detectives, officers, and sergeants, and today it's, I mean, obviously with all the activity that's around, there's a lot going on around here, and I really hope that all this can lead to something positive.
What did your neighbors, did they see anything? Did your neighbors see anything?
No, like the police department went door to door asking, like, cameras and everything, just like nothing.
And my last question, if you have any of them, so feel free to step in. My last question is, if your wife can see this, if she can watch these, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
That's it. I can take that mic off you.
Raw drama in court as the cold-hearted killer who murdered his pregnant wife and 2 daughters is sentenced. The father of slain Shanann Watts gave an emotional statement venting his anger and grief.
You heartless monster. You have no heart or feelings or love. Prison is too good for you. This is hard to say, but may God have mercy on your soul.
Shanann's mother reminded Watts of a heartbreaking video his daughter Bella recorded.
My daddy is a hero. He helps me grow up strong.
We loved you like a son. We trusted you. Your faithful wife trusted you. Your children adored you.
Here's Jim Murray.
The DA revealed gruesome new details about the murders. As Watts strangled his wife, it would have taken up to 4 minutes to end her life. Then he smothered his 2 daughters. 4-year-old Bella fought back as her dad was killing her. Even more shocking, just hours after burying his wife and dumping his daughter's bodies in oil tanks, he was back with his co-workers, acting as if nothing had happened.
Even his own mother expressed horror at Watts' crimes. A tear rolled down his cheek as she spoke.
This is something we will never get over. We will always mourn the loss of our family. I am still struggling to understand how and why this tragedy occurred.
He kept his head bowed as his mother turned to look at him.
We love you, and we forgive you, son.
He did not look back at her. 33-year-old Watts was offered an opportunity to speak.
Would you like to make a statement?
No, sir.
But his attorney apologized on his behalf.
Although he understands that words are hollow at this point, he is sincerely sorry for all of this.
And when it was time to hear his fate, Watts' legs shook uncontrollably beneath the defense table.
The court is going to sentence you, sir, to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole.